Today, my topic is about MOOCs in tourism and hospitality. I'm gonna run two sessions, hopefully. And if the second session is still working like this, I'm going to just archive the first session so everybody can watch it later. So I'm a PhD student at WUSI. I am also a project manager of this eTourism MOOC project. I was hired in 2015 to design and develop and organize this whole project with other colleagues. And this eTourism MOOC was first launched in 2015 in October, and it was a very good progress and success. So we decided to run a second iteration in 2016. So today, actually, MOOC, everybody is talking about it. It's quite a popular term. You may have different definition of MOOCs. However, different people somehow agree that MOOC is the result or is the action actually responding to the revolution of open content. So open content was actually initiated in the field of software to open the code to other experts so they can modify, they can adapt to their own needs, they can reuse, and somehow it expanded to other fields, also deeply influence education sector later. And there are two other initiatives responding to open content revolution. One is Open Educational Resource, shortened as OER. Another one is Open Courseware, shortened here as OCW. And the latest development is MOOC, Massive Open Online Course. So if you have to understand the different relationship among these four concepts, I present this figure to help you understand more. So if you add education purpose to an open content in education field, then you have open education resource like video statistics tutorial you can watch from the YouTube. And then if you add a course structure to OCW, then if you add the course structure to OER, then you have OCW. Then MOOC steps further by adding assessment and interactions. So now you can access to a lot of different subjects of MOOCs provided by different universities. You can have assessment there, you can even get certificates, and you can directly interact with so many instructors and other participants in the world. So what exactly is MOOC? A lot of literature, they actually explain MOOC by relating to the four letters of MOOC, which is massive, open, online, and a course. So massive refers to the large amount of online learners you can actually encounter when you are taking this online course. Open means that it's free. And at the beginning, it was saying everybody can reuse it, but nowadays it's different. The business model is kind of developing and shifting as well. But mainly free, and anybody who with internet connection with a device, you can actually go there, sign up in this MOOC, and then start learning. Then online means you needed to have access to internet. And then course, it's like still a mindset from the traditional education setting. So you will feel like there's a teacher or several teacher teaching you via videos, and you can interact directly with the different peer learners, and you will have assignment or exam. So just like other courses you take in the schools. But the MOOC history didn't start until 2008, when the first CMOOC was produced in Canada by Siemens and Donis. And Cormier actually coincided this term as massive open online course to describe this first MOOC named Connectivist, and so related to connectivist pedagogy of education. But this MOOC only received it was a good progress already, but it attracted about 2,200 learners worldwide. However, compared to 2013, when the artificial intelligence MOOC was produced by Stanford University, that MOOC attracted over 160,000 learners online. So that was such a huge success that all the medias were basically reporting it, and the instructor from that MOOC, Sebastian Thurum, eventually quitted Stanford University and went to found this Udacity MOOC platform to continue powering this MOOC exercises. And together with other two platforms called edX and Coursera, they are named as the big three. The big three platforms, starting from 2012, they are continuing pushing the effort of MOOCs and attracted and produced a lot of MOOCs on their platforms. However, last year, the English platform FutureLearn, they replaced Udacity to be the third largest MOOC platforms right after edX and Coursera. Now the big three kind of changed the owners. So MOOC by 2015, you can see the number has reached 4,200 in the amount of MOOCs, so involving more than 550 universities, attracting 35 million of learners. And compared to the first CMOOC, which is 2,200 learners, this is a very big growth over 7 years. So that's basically a brief introduction of MOOC that I just gave you. Now let's go back to the topic of tourism and hospitality MOOCs. So a basic search on Coursera and edX, if you see clearly from this table, you can see that compared to other subjects such as business, computer history, tourism and hospitality MOOCs, they are so small in the amount of offerings. So on Coursera tourism, the number of tourism MOOCs, there were 6, hospitality MOOCs 7, edX tourism MOOCs 8, hospitality MOOCs 7. So if you counted both of them, it's like around how many? 28, less than 30 offerings on the big MOOC platforms. Between 2008 and 2015, I did an investigation to actually summarize the offerings of tourism and hospitality MOOCs in the market, and I found 51 MOOCs offered in these topics. The first table here, it's basically summarizing all those tourism and hospitality MOOCs provided by different universities globally. And the second table here, it's those MOOCs provided by non-university bodies. So you can see that before 2013, actually, there were no tourism and hospitality MOOCs at all, until 2013 brings in two the very first MOOCs in this field. One was offered by University of Central Florida. Another one is offered by eCornell. But in 2015, there were 16 more MOOCs provided in the market. It was such a sudden growth in the market, and there are more coming in 2016 when PolyU launched the MicroMaster program, including more than 8 MOOCs in tourism and hospitalities in this field. So I did further research in those MOOCs provided by universities globally, and they were offered in English, and that came up with a list of 80 MOOCs in this field. And it was provided by 9 universities from 6 countries, and they were spreading around in different platforms, including Coursera, edX, Canvas Network. They are all USA-based platforms. Iversity, European platform, and Open Learning, Australian platform. And by 2015, our eTourism MOOC was the only European platform hosted on European platform. So let's step further to check different elements inside these MOOCs in tourism and hospitality. First thing is course topics. What are they teaching about? So there is an imbalance between tourism and hospitality presented or taught by MOOCs. Actually, there are more hospitalities. There were about 79%. They were offered in hospitality topic. And among all these hospitality MOOCs, the topics were concentrated in cuisine, beverage, and hotel management. And when it came to course status, that means when I access to these MOOCs, what was the operation status of this MOOCs? And by December 2015, there were 8 ongoing MOOCs, and 10 completed, with some archived being available to the enrolled participants. And 7 of them, they stopped enrolling people. So if you want to enroll after their live version, it's impossible. So the discontinuity rate is quite high when it comes to continuing teaching MOOCs in this topic or not. So lessons means the basic organization unit of contents in a MOOC. You can call it unit, block, week, section, or module. And I found that 4-week or 6-week structure were most adopted format for tourism and hospitality MOOCs. And then eTourism MOOC was, among all those MOOCs I examined, used course announcement the most. So there were in total 21 course announcements sent to users through the course, and they serve different purposes, like welcoming students, informing students about the coming exam, explaining the exam, providing the exam guideline. Also, sometimes we promoted different events for users to meet each other in the real life. And we all know that actually e-MOOCs, textbooks are not a quite common thing. Videos actually replace textbooks to be the main medium of knowledge transferring. And among these 18 academic MOOCs, the number of videos vary a lot among these courses. The science and cooking MOOC, it has in total 194 videos. Well, that was such a scary number. However, it was such a success in the MOOC, so it kind of made people think again. The size of or the length of the videos, maybe it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is good design, good instructional design, very engaging videos, very engaging activities. But some MOOCs in the sample of investigation, they only had like 4 videos in their MOOC. So the number quite different among all those MOOCs. And then we found in total 13 styles of video presentation in those MOOCs. So for example, big head talking, demonstration style, or recorded seminar. That means you were gathering a group of people in front of the camera, and they are talking with each other, and it's like giving a seminar to the audience. And some other styles, such as webcam capture, so you are like having a video meeting with the audience, what they are seeing is you talking in a setting. And another quite popular format is that you were shooting the video in a studio with the green screen behind you, so that you can do some post effect on the green screen right after the video editing. So this teaches us that you can adopt different styles of presentation to avoid being boring in the video presentation in MOOCs. So another thing that I checked is the video transcript and subtitle in this MOOCs. I found that only one MOOC actually were offering different versions, different languages of the transcript and subtitle, and all other MOOCs, they were not offering such options to the learners. And eTourism MOOC started doing so as well in 2016. Now, as you can see from the screen, we have English, Chinese, Italian, and Spanish subtitles and transcripts available in our course. So when it comes to networking, we found that forum discussion was still the most adopted way for people to interact with each other when you were learning with a MOOC. And some other social networking media such as Facebook and Twitter, they are used as well, but not that popular. There are actually only 4 MOOCs among 18 tourism and hospitality MOOCs. They are using Facebook and Twitter to kind of keep students updated about what's going on in their MOOC. eTourism MOOC was the most actually active MOOC among all those 18 MOOCs to use social media as the tool to interact with the students. Actually, we had 970 members on the Facebook group when we were running the first iteration, and the number now is more than this. And the course has hashtag eTourismMOOC on Twitter received hundreds of tweets under this topic, and at least 90 were contributed by learners who are directly participating in our MOOC. So when it comes to collaboration, we found that only one MOOC was adopting between learner collaborative assignment. All other MOOCs, they were not doing so, and we didn't find any inter-university collaboration in all these MOOC offerings. So that means a lot of universities, they are doing it by their own. They are not collaborating with other universities to offer so. And they only about 2, they were actually collaborating. Let me double check. Actually, only 3 MOOCs. Yes, only 3 MOOCs out of 18. They invited the industry practitioners to be their co-instructors. So in the future, collaborations either between learners or between universities or between course providers, it should be enhanced somehow. And when it comes to assessments, we know that quizzes are a very popular format of assessment used in MOOC. And other ways of testing students' mastery of the knowledge includes such as case study project, but it's not that often used in these tourism and hospitality MOOCs. And only, I think only 3 MOOCs eventually they arranged the final exam that includes eTourism MOOC. But all of them use multiple choice questions, so it saves the time and effort of the instructors. They don't need to grade. All questions were graded by the machine, by the system automatically. And then when it comes to affirmation, I mean to grant certificate, credit, or badges to the involved learners. So 11 tourism and hospitality MOOCs provided formal course certificates. 4 gave only free certificates, whereas 7 gave both free and paid certificates. The cost of paid certificates will vary across platforms, but no provider so far granted any credit to the MOOC participants. So at the end of this small research, actually, some suggestions were given to the future providers when they want to provide their MOOCs. So that includes more universities from developing countries should be encouraged, and more tourism related to topics should be encouraged. Also, the difficulty level should be diversified and to actually encourage more medium and advanced learners in these topics, because a lot of research already told us that a lot of people who are enrolled in MOOCs, they already had their higher education degree, so they're quite advanced in the learning skills. So and then more collaborations are expected between universities and between university and industry, because tourism and hospitality, they are very applied subjects. So not only we should consider to conduct civil education, but also we should teach more applied skills to our learners, and that can be well achieved by collaborating with industry experts, for example. And then I mentioned the high level of dropout among instructors. So the future developers should think about, for example, setup. If you are a university, you can consider setting up a central unit to actually take over the MOOCs when it is over, when the instructors, they don't want to continue with such offering. And then because you are facing the global audience, so more multilingual support is encouraged for the future providers to meet the needs of different backgrounds learners. And then because the good influence of social media, Sappho literature already suggested that learners, they agree that social media help their social learning process. So in the future, providers can also consider to improve their performance in the social media, and to combine them with the online communication through forum discussion. So then I'm going to move to the case of e-tourism MOOC. So, as I mentioned before, we launched this MOOC, the first iteration, in October 5 in 2015. We spent 9 months preparing for this MOOC, and we divided this whole MOOC into 8 chapters covering different contents, like online communication model, usability, web analytics, e-learning, user-generated contents. And then we attracted over 5,500 learners globally from 142 countries. We invited them to participate in this Pin Yourself on the Map activity, which turned out to be a very fun activity and also a success as well. A lot of people, you can see, they enjoy pinning themselves and sharing their location on the map. And we have over 30% of the learners, they finish over 5% of the course. And we have nearly 2,200 posts generated in the online forum. And we also managed to reach out to developing countries and those disadvantaged students, like those students who cannot be fully enrolled in the university programs. They're working, or they are females, and some we actually conducted this online engagement survey. I received 216 replies, and the demographic data show that our learners, over 50, they're female, and over 75, they are aged between 26 and 55, and aligned with the previous study research result. Our learners, 87%, they already received the higher education level certificates, and 50% of them are full-time workers. while 13% were part-time workers. So what happened behind the scene to make such a MOOC online? So for drivers for WUSI to provide MOOC as actually were first is to fulfill the corporate social responsibility, and then is marketing to actually boost up the marketing image of WUSI as a small Swiss public university in the world. And then also public relations, we want to also expose this university to more public media, and we also want to reach out to collaborate with different parties in the world. And then the fourth driver is research. We actually opened this research line to investigate into the field of tourism and hospitality MOOCs, which is kind of an extension of another research line was embedded in our faculty, that was e-learning in tourism and hospitality. So MOOCs in tourism and hospitality was kind of an extension research of that research line. So the workflow to produce this MOOCs started from, they had a university board meeting to initiate this project, and then eLab, who was the responsible unit to actually produce this MOOC, submitted the project proposal and got funding from the university. We formed the team, and I finished the initial investigation of different MOOC platforms to select the suitable platform for WUSI to host our first MOOC, and then collaborating with our selected platform, which is a German platform called Iversity. We did the instructional design together, and then we created the content, and we did the course promotion, deliver the course, and at the end of the course, when it is finished and archived, we did the internal project assessment. So it's a big team actually to run together to make this project possible. It's not the case for every university. I mean, I interviewed some MOOC instructors in this field, and some of them, they only have one instructor, and they are doing basically everything themselves. But according to the conversation with them, I realized that having support compared to without support, that can be a huge difference. At least with strong support, the instructors are more willing to continue in the future. And then I did initial selection of the partner platform by actually considering 4 categories of attributes, such as what kind of functions they have. Do they have mobile app? How much they charge for partnering universities, and how actually they partner with us. So different factors we considered, then we actually eventually selected Iversity. Then when it comes to instructional design, we needed to think in advance what kind of topic we wanted to deliver, the copyright issue, and the video, in how long our video should be, and what kind of learning activities should go with all these video materials. And then when it comes to content creation, we needed it mainly to create the videos, and then match with the video. We have a video editor to edit the whole thing. We actually do the English subtitle and add it to the video, and then other learning contents like a syllabus, like the activity you just saw before, the map, interactive map, and the survey and other contents. And what I want to highlight is the how the video was produced in our team. So first, we prepare video script that was basically provided by our 4 main instructors. Then we have the video shooting, either outdoors or indoors. Then we filter the video, the raw video materials, then we edit it, we collect feedback from the team, and we edit it again. And then we did a final review to finalize the video, and then we add a subtitle, and then it became our final video. And it's a very long process and very tedious works involved, but it totally pays back with a high quality video presented to the audience. And then the promotion part, we ran different promotions on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we also use the different email lists to distribute this news. And promotion is quite important in MOOCs because MOOCs are actually considered as a taster course of different universities to demonstrate their teaching quality and to share their knowledge. So to reach the right audience is very important. If you actually design a course and only 3 or 6 people watch it, I mean, what's the point of it then? So course delivery, we have a weekly meeting to actually ensure everything going on there is in the right direction, and we arrange facilitation activities in advance already to provide on-time support to our learners. And then promotion. We didn't stop promotion, when the course goes online. And we have different teaching assistants maintaining different social media channels. And then when it came to the final step, when we finished everything, we needed to evaluate this project. We collected different data and mainly used Kirkpatrick model to think back, to reflect on the whole thing, to see how the performance was. So the first thing we want to know the reaction of the learners. Do they really like this MOOC? And the second thing is learning. Did they really learn from our course? And then the third layer is behavior. So did they apply what they learned from this MOOC to their daily life or work situation to improve their performance? And the fourth layer is the results. Did the organization benefit? In other words, did the UC university as a university benefit from such project? So there was a small another research to match with such purpose, and by using this model, I did a conference paper to actually present how we evaluated the whole thing. For example, in the reaction layer, the performance indicators were motivation, satisfaction, and usefulness, and that data was retrieved from the online engagement survey that we ran during the MOOC. And then you can see these 4 blocks of data that we actually collected to help the performance evaluation. And now we actually have this MOOC still running on the platform. And we encountered some problems before, but eventually we solved it out. And this MOOC will continue to be online until October this year. So it lasted for 1 year, and we gave people more support concerning the lingual support. We added more languages to the subtitle and the transcript support. And we also arrange monthly hangouts with our instructors and assistants. So if you didn't enroll in this MOOC before, now it is still online. You can still go on there to try this MOOC with us. You can also join our Facebook group and use our hashtag to communicate with each other and with us. So you can also follow us on Weibo if you are in China. So I hope this very long sharing actually conveys some ideas to you about how we did this MOOC and how it is like now, the current development of tourism and hospitality MOOCs in the market. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation from me. Thank you very much.